Hi everyone, Mrs. Basega here, and today we're going to talk about the four-step method. The four-step method is a way to show your work. And since we're going to be doing some complicated word problems this year, we want you to be able to organize the information. This will help you organize all the information you get in a word problem so that you can solve it more easily. If you're a person that traditionally struggles in math, this is a way to jumpstart your problem solving. And it's not just for physics. You could use it for math too. But finally, and most importantly for you, it's also a way to earn points. When I need you to show your work, that means I can give you partial credits even if you got the number wrong at the end. Most importantly for me, this is a way to make predictions based on science. Last week we talked about scientific experiments. And if you think about the scientific method, predictions are what it's all about. First, you started with scientists asking questions. Then, they did experiments to answer those questions. Those experiments found out relationships, which gave us mathematical equations, and now we can use those equations to make predictions about the world around us. So, what are the four steps? These are worth writing down, because sometimes you'll get points for each one of these four steps if you show it. Okay? Step number 1, identify the knowns and unknowns. Read through your problem closely. Find all the numerical information you can. Then, I'm going to have you select and write an equation. These will usually be given to you, so you'll just need to figure out which one of the equations given to you makes sense. Then, substitute all your numbers into the equation and solve it. Finally, check to see if it makes sense. If you got 47 years as the time it takes light to travel from the sun to the earth, that's not logical. So then probably something went wrong there. Let's try out the four-step method on this practice problem set. So what I want to do first is I want to identify the knowns and unknowns. The knowns and unknowns are the items in this problem that I can connect to variables. So in this case, sound travels through the air at 340 meters per second. That's a variable, and its symbol is v. I use v for both velocity and speed. So I'm making a list of my knowns and unknowns. I know the velocity. I'm trying to find how long, and long is actually a time. And to indicate that I don't know this, I usually put a box around it, I highlight it, and I know the distance. How long does it take for the sound of thunder to travel 1,609 meters? Notice I'm selecting meters, not miles, because meters is the base unit for physics. D, distance, is 1,609 meters. Please be patient with my writing skills. I don't have my stylus with me today. Okay, so step number 1, read the problem, write the knowns and unknowns. Step number 2, write the equation exactly in the form that it's above of the equation that relates velocity, distance, and time. We only know velocity and distance, so we can't possibly use equation 3. And since distance isn't even in equation 2, I can't use that one. Step 3, substitute. In this case, I'm substituting the equations, replacing v with 340, replacing d with 1,609 over t. Now, to solve this, I know that I need to multiply by t on both sides. Step 3 is really substitute and solve together. I multiply by t on both sides. That leaves 340t equals 1,609. Oh my gosh, my handwriting, guys. So sorry. Divide by 340 on both sides. And now I substitute into Desmos. I'm going to take that t is equal to 1,609 over 340. Going to go right over to Desmos, and I'm actually going to do it in the high school calculator. This is the one when you take the NGSS later that you're actually going to have to use. And the number I'm substituting is 1,609 divided by 340. Return. And notice that Desmos gives me 4.73 as my result. Okay. So t is equal to 4.73. Time is measured in seconds, and I'm going to put a circle around this so as teacher, it's easy for me to find. But there is a step 4, right? Step 4 is units and logic. Let's do logic first. Logic. Does it make sense that it takes thunder 4.73 seconds to travel a mile? Yeah, that sounds reasonable. It's not taking like hours to travel a mile, I know that. So I know that at least logically that makes sense. Unit-wise, let's check in a different color. When I divided 1,609, that was 1,609 meters over 340 meters per second. So when I'm checking my units, I see that meters cancels meters, and I'm left with 1 over seconds. So my units end up being 1 over seconds, or just seconds, which is sensible. Like my units for time should be seconds. For problem 2, let's work on another way to solve problems and show your work, but this time using Google Docs instead of editing a PDF. So I'm still going to put my little knowns and unknowns column, K and U. Put a little highlight here. I see that I have a car whose mass is 1,360 kilograms. Kilograms is the base unit for physics. And the car accelerates from 0 meters per second. I'm going to call that VI. And if you're not familiar with Google Docs, you can go to Insert, Equation, and it will pull up this nifty equation bar right here. You see it? Now, since it knows I'm working on equations, I've got all these options. I'm going to choose a V sub I here. I see my initial velocity is 0 meters per second. The final velocity is 25 meters per second. And guys, I picked this particular number because 25 meters per second is about 65 or so miles an hour. So my car goes from 0 to 60 miles an hour in about 10 seconds. And I want to calculate the acceleration. I'm going to leave this as an A for acceleration, lowercase. And since I don't know what it is, I'm still going to identify that I know it's my unknown. So my knowns are mass, velocities, time, and my unknown is acceleration. Now, select equation. Not showing up super great in Docs right now, but equation number 2 on the sheet has velocity, time, and acceleration, and doesn't require me to know a distance. I don't know anything about distance, right? Notice that mass is extraneous or extra information. I don't actually need to know the mass of my car to solve this problem. So I'm going to write down equation 2. Okay, so that's part 1. Step 2, let's substitute and solve. So that's 25 equals 0 plus A, which I don't know, so I'm going to leave it as A, times 10. Dividing by 10 to both sides gives me something like A equals, and over here on this operation side, 25 minus 0 over 10. Which finally gives me my answer. Acceleration equals 2.5. But I need units here, right? So to get the units, I notice the acceleration has meters per second on top and time, 10 seconds, so it's seconds on the bottom. This unit is called meters per second squared. But if you don't know the special name for it, you could just leave it as this. So it's got its units, it's got a number, an acceleration of 2.5 meters per second squared. I'm going to highlight it, let the teacher know that's your answer. Done with problem 2.
Wait a second, there's still a 2b. What are we talking about? So let's try this 4-step method again in another problem-solving method you could use. You could do the 4-step method, but do it by hand. There's nothing saying you can't print things out anymore. So in this problem, identify the knowns and unknowns is step 1. And notice I put a little box around a keyword, rest. Rest indicates the velocity is 0. So I took equation number 3, wrote it down letter for letter. In step 2, write the equation. Step 3, we substitute all our numbers in. And finally, we solve. I actually used a regular calculator for this to solve and find that the distance my car traveled was 1,125 meters, or almost a mile in 30 seconds. I was going really fast, okay? Checking the units, that's meters per second squared times seconds squared. Seconds cancel, leaves me meters. That was a distance. So hey, now let's say I finished my whole worksheet. I'm ready to submit. I'm going to use the Office Lens scanning app and send to Classroom.
So let's recap today's objectives. Today I showed you the 4-step method, but I also wanted you to see how to submit solutions to me. I will accept solutions digitally when you go and edit a PDF. I will accept them digitally via Google Docs and manually. If you want to print this out and do it by hand and scan it, totally fine by me. Lastly, I also showed you different ways to calculate. Yes, you could use the one on your phone, but that usually is not good for order of operations and making sure everything gets squared and cubed and halved appropriately. You can use this digitally with Desmos or manually with one of these bad boys. So, for today, we did a lot of things. Let's go get some practice on our own, and I will see you next time. Bye!